All right, let's say your parents' pill changed color, right? You went and you picked a refill up at the pharmacy, and now all of a sudden the pill has changed. What's going on? You open it, you're looking, this isn't the same pill you had before. One of the first things I always saw was the problem was in the medication. But should you panic? Here's what's happening right now, because in January, this really takes off. In January, we always see pills change because plans change, because pharmacies have to change pills, and pricing changes on everything. January is just a nut job for pharmacies because they're trying to figure out what to use, how to use it when, and all these pills have changed. So I'm Suzanne Fasella. I'm a founder of caregiverhaven.com and the Haven community, where our members work with me. Both seniors and family members work with me on their special challenges they have, okay? Whether it's aging or whether it's caregiving. And for 25 years, I've helped seniors and their families navigate aging. They navigate it. I navigated it as a physician assistant in geriatric care, in emergency medicine, and in urgent care. I saw it over and over again, the stress that people go through. So if this video helps you, please subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and share it with someone who needs it. That's how I can keep creating videos like this, content like this, and YouTube will actually spread it to more people the more they see the thumbs up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this. What is it about January, or what is it about changing the color of a pill? January is the worst month for medication management, and I see it every single year in my practice. Three things happen simultaneously that create absolute chaos. Three things. First, new insurance plans activate on January 1st. This is Medicare insurance plans. That insurance you had last year as a senior, different copays now, different pharmacy network, different preferred pharmacies. Maybe your doctors have changed too. Second, holiday schedule disruptions completely broke the medication routine. Doctors' offices are closed. Family brunches interrupted the normal Tuesday morning pill time. Someone got sick, went to urgent care, got a new prescription. The routine that worked for months has disappeared. So now missed medications, changed medications, all of that. All right, third, and this is what catches most people off guard, are the pills themselves look different now in January. The pharmacy switched generic manufacturers, and suddenly the small white pill is now a large blue oval pill. And for someone with memory issues, they think the pharmacy has made a mistake and they refuse to take the pill. So here's what happens next. Someone misses their diuretic for 3 days because the pill looked wrong and they didn't trust it. The fluid builds up, breathing gets labored, and it's a Friday night ER visit to fix it. Hospital readmissions due to preventable medication errors cost thousands of dollars, even with insurance. Because why? Insurance doesn't like to pay if you've got to return to the emergency room again within 30 days of being there. But beyond the money, there's the physical toll on your loved one or yourself, and the stress on the family and the time lost from your work if you're the family member or you're a senior still working. Why does this matter? Because medication errors don't announce themselves dramatically. Sometimes they're very subtle, more confusion than usual. Okay, is it dementia progressing, or is it a medication interaction? More fatigue? One of the things I did, and I did work family practice too, and internal medicine, but whenever somebody came in with a change in behavior, or change in memory loss, or something like that, first thing I did was I grabbed their list of medications and I went down them, every single one of them, with the senior as well as with the family member, whoever's caring for them. And I said, has any medications changed? No. I said, okay, let's look at the pills. Well, that one changed. Well, it was a white pill and now it's a generic blue pill. How do I know that the ingredients, right? The active ingredient is the same, but the other ingredients that used to make the pill, not the same, could be causing the difference. So not all generics are equal. We also know that generics don't have to have the same 100% of the active ingredient that brand names do. So some generics might have 80% of the active ingredient. Another generic might have 90% of the active ingredient. And that little 10% difference between the generics can make all the difference in the world. It drives you into my family practice or into my urgent care, and there you end up with another bill. Okay? All right. We look at, is it normal aging, or is the side effect that nobody warned you about? Because people say, oh, all generics are the same. They're not. The active ingredient can change. When multiple medications change at once, you can't pinpoint which one's causing the problem. There's just no way. So I try to always see if just maybe one medication was the culprit. Pharmacies can switch generic medication manufacturers anytime they want. All right. And they can keep the generics work, and they'll tell you that they work the same as the brand name. All right. But they will change one manufacturer to another over and over again. I have patients taking the same small yellow thyroid pill for 3 years. They open up their refill, they see large white tablets. They're absolutely convinced something is wrong. And here's what you do immediately. You call the pharmacy and you ask them to confirm what changed and why. I personally would never leave a pharmacy unless I opened up the container, I opened up the bag. You know how they always staple it shut? Well, sorry, it's getting unstapled. Don't staple my bag. I'm going to check and make sure this is the same medication I've taken before. Hey, I'm sorry. You've got to do it. You've got to look and see. Otherwise, you're going to have to call the pharmacy back. You're going to have to see what changed, what they put on there, ask them to note it in the file that the appearance changes. And now you got to figure out, especially if a senior has dementia, how you're going to convince them to take that pill. Because it's the same pill, supposed to do the same thing, but it's just different. So take a photo of all the new pills next to the old pills. This visual confirmation helps with any verbal explanation. All right. When you see multiple doctors during the holidays, your regular doctor, your urgent care, for maybe the flu, right, or COVID, then you got the cardiologist follow-up because you ate all those sugars. You've got the diabetic doctor, the endocrinologist, because you ate all those sugars. Those doctors don't communicate with each other. They never have, and so far, I don't know that they ever will. Each one prescribes something different. Nobody sees the picture. The primary care physician should see the complete picture. The primary care physician used to be the gatekeeper. Nobody got to a specialist without going through the primary care first. And the primary care physician in the old days used to pick up the phone and call the specialist and go, hey, Joe, I'm sending over blah, blah. They need this taken care of. Or, hey, Marty, I'm sending over so-and-so. Their sugar levels are off the wall. They don't talk to each other anymore. Nobody talks to each other. Nobody reads charts anymore. And in all my years of practicing medicine, I never saw a complete or an accurate chart on a patient. Never. That's a whole nother story. I'm not going to go there today. But this is why I'm giving you the one-page medication list builder. It creates the one master document that every doctor and pharmacy can reference, all right? Preventing dangerous duplications and interactions. And you'll find the link in the description. So please take a look at this and use it. Carry it in your wallet, okay? Excuse me, I keep sneezing. This tool captures every medication, supplement, allergy, and the top 3 side effects to watch for. And when you hand this to a nurse before the doctor walks in, you're preventing them from prescribing something that interacts with what's already being taken. This is why it matters. You become the communication hub, whether you're managing your own prescriptions or you're handling them for your parent, all right? Every new prescription requires you to play detective. You're going to be Sherlock Holmes here for every single new medication. You've got to figure out if it's going to interact with all the other medications, including the over-the-counter medications. You can't forget them. Creams are absorbed, okay? Especially some of these hormone creams. Oh my gosh, don't forget to put those down. Start with a complete inventory today. Gather every pill bottle, every supplement, every cream, every over-the-counter medication, including ibuprofen, including, let's see, Tylenol, any medication. Include your vitamins and your minerals and your supplements you take, your fiber supplement, because that can block absorption. All of a sudden, a pill's not working anymore. Well, it may be because you put in a fiber supplement, right? And it counters the effects of that medication. So then you're going to go to the pharmacy and you're asking to do a consult. What a consult does is they're going to pull out a list of, you're going to look at a list of all your medications that you give them, and they're going to decide which ones are really interacting with other ones. All right. Then you take that list. They can't change that list. You take that list to the next doctor appointment and you say, hey, some of these medications are not cool together. Okay. So call each prescribing doctor's office, because if you have many specialists, the specialists, if let's say the cardiologist has you on one medication, your primary care physician is not going to take you off that medication. So you have to go to each and every specialist and say, okay, my primary care has got me on these medications. My endocrinologist has me on these medications. I don't want to change these medications, but they're interacting with your medication. So you're the one that's going to have to change your medications. All right. Or you start with the cardiologist and say, I'm not changing those medications, but the endo guy, he has to change his medications. So each doctor will change their medications, but no doctor in good faith will ever change another physician's medications. That's just not done. I mean, that's horrible. You just don't do that. All right. Okay. So contact the pharmacy first and then go to each specialist and compare. When you compare your medical chart that your specialist and your doctors see to your list, it's totally different. All right. The other thing you can do is use a 7-day pill organizer with clear labels. And this way, if you have somebody who doesn't want to take the pill because it looks different, if you throw all the pills together, they may not notice the difference. So you may have to go to a pill organizer to do something like that. All right. If the new insurance has higher copays, right, making the medications unaffordable, you're going to ask your doctor for the alternatives before stopping the medication. And again, all this information is for educational purposes only. You never stop treatment without asking your doctor. You've got to ask your doctor. Your doctor knows you. I do not know you. Anybody on YouTube, anybody on the computer, they don't know you. Your doctor knows you. They know what you're taking. They know your medical history. So they're the ones that can advise you on what to stop and what to start. Doctors will often have samples too. And so they know about patient assistant programs. They know you could get your pills maybe cheaper going directly to the pharmaceutical company to get them. All right. Or they can prescribe equally effective medications for less. They don't have to go with the most expensive ones, which are usually the ones that are advertised on TV. I don't know what that's all about, but I don't know why they advertise, because many of my patients would come in and they'd say, Susanna, I saw, drug XYZ on TV. Would that be good for me? And I'd say, can you afford it? And they'd say, I don't know. I said, well, let me know. And 100% of the time they call me back and say, I can't afford it. And insurance won't pay for it. So there you are. Why does this matter? Because people, you can't stop taking your medications. You can't break them in half and just take them every other day or something like that when they're supposed to be taken every day, because you're going to find out you're going to end up in the ER. You are absolutely going to end up in the ER. One of the biggest things we saw in the ER were blood thinners. People would stop taking blood thinners. Bam, they have a stroke. They're in the ER. And a stroke is a lot more costly, always, than that medication. So here's what to remember. Medication errors always spike in January. It's just a nightmare with all the changes, the generic switches, the PBMs setting prices daily and interrupting the whole schedule. So your prices are always changing. And the holidays, those are disruptions too. It's not your fault. It is not your fault. It's the way the Medicare system, our government insurance, is set up. So this is why I'm giving you this medication list builder. I need you to look over all your medications. And it takes everything that we talked about, it puts it into one document that protects you at every visit, every ER trip. It captures your medications, your supplements, everything you need. Okay, so take a look at it. It's free, it's your bonus. Grab it, it's in the description. Spend some time filling it out, and you only have to do it once. Unless the medication changes, you can add or delete something. So if you found this helpful, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and give it a thumbs up so I can keep producing videos like this one, and YouTube will share more the more you like them. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.